Hello guys, I guess everyone would have gone through the coding question of this week. So let us now discuss the solution. Let me just go through the first problem. So the first problem is like you have to print a series. First you have to understand the logic of series so that you can solve it so better. Okay. So the program will accept an integer and we have to print the series. That is, if n value is 10, you have to print the first 10 numbers of the series like. So this is generally called the magic square constants, right? So how does the logic go? So it is like the first element will be 1 and the second element will be the next two summation. Okay, that's 2 plus 3, and the third element will be the next 3 summation, that is 4 plus 5 plus 6, and the fourth element will be the next 4 summations, that is 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. So the series goes like this. Okay, I guess you'll get the logic right now. So the answer is like when we add up 2 plus 3 it will give 5, and 4 plus 5 plus 6 it gives 15, and so on. Okay, so let us now dive into the solution. So first let me just solve using Python, then we'll just go into the C part. So first we are gonna get the integer n, and now so I am having a k value that is 1, so that I'm gonna start the numbers from 1, 2 and so on. Okay, so I'm setting up a for loop to a length of the n. For example, I have to print the first 14 elements of the series, right? So for that I'm just giving a for loop, and I'm just having a variable called sum, so that I have to print the summation, right? So now for calculating the summation, I'm just having another for loop called for I in range of I. Since for first element I have to calculate only one summation. For the second element I have to calculate summation of two elements. For third element I have to calculate the summation of three elements, and so on, right? So the second for loop range will be the I. So now the k value sum will be summation of k, and then I'm incrementing the k value plus 1. So this k value will be incremented by 1. Okay, and finally out of the second for loop I'm just printing the summation. So since I have to print in the same line, I'm just giving n is equal to space. So let us now check the test cases. So I'm just giving 14. The answer will be 1, 5, 15, 34, 65, 111. Yeah, it's pretty good. Then let us now test the second test case. So it will be like 10, 1, 5, 15. Yeah, it works good. So let us now solve this question in C2 simultaneously, and I'll just change the compiler and I'll just delete this code. I'm just commenting this. Yeah. So for the header file, I'm giving include stdio.h. So int main I'm giving, or you can also give void main. That's no issues. It's not a big deal. So now I'm just declaring a variable called n, and I'm getting the variable n, that is the integer type, from the user. And same, I'm just having a variable called k is equal to 1 and a integer sum. So the outermost for loop will iterate from 1 to n, right? So for int I is equal to 1. So you can also give 0 to lesser than n. That's not a big deal. It's just to count what to say. You just have to print the n characters. So it's not like you're gonna get that is the I is not included in the logic anywhere, so it's not a big deal. I is less than or equal to n I plus plus for int, and in a for loop will be j is equal to 1 and j is lesser than or equal to I and j plus plus. So I forgot one thing over here, since I have to give sum is equal to 0, and I'm just something sum plus equal to k, and k value will be incrementer, and out of the second for loop I have to print the sum value, and since you have to print it in a straight line, I'm just giving %d space so that it prints in the same line with a space. Okay, so I guess I've done. So let us check now. 14, yeah, it pretty much works, and the second test case is 10. Yeah, it works in C2. So these are the both logic. The logic remains the same. I just change the syntax as per the C language. So this is what with the first program. Now let us now dive into the second program. So the second program will be given a integer n and a value b. So it's like you have to split the value of n into binary, convert the value of n into binary and split it up and see let us I'll just explain it manually so that you can understand better. So if it's like 10, what is the binary value of 10? It will be like 8421 means it will be like 4211010, right? So this will be the, I just write it over here. So now we have to take each and every value of this 1010. That first I have to take 1, and then 10, and then 101. I have to just split it up. I have to first take the first character, then the first one and second one, then the first to the third one, then the first to the fourth one, and so on. Whatever the length of the binary value it may be, you have to calculate, split it up like this, and you have to calculate the decimal value of it. So if it is 1, it's meant that 001. So the decimal value of this will be 1. So it is 10 means it is meant that 0010. So the decimal value of this will be like it will be like 2, right? Yeah. So decimal value of 101, it will be like 8421 means 4 plus 1, it will be 5. So 1, then this will be 10. So these are the decimal values of the split ups, right? So you have to count the number of values that is divisible by the integer b. So 1 is divisible by b means you have to count, like increment the count, and if 2 is divisible by b means you have to increment 1, and finally you have to print the count value. So that parts go like the explanation of the program. So now let us first solve it in Python, then we'll just stick on to C. So first I'm just getting the n and b values from the user. Okay, n comma b is equal to map of in comma input dot split to get the integer, 2 integers in the same line. I'm giving like this. So then I'm gonna calculate the binary value of n, right? So bin of n, that is, it may be a variable. I'm just giving it meaningful to make you understand. So to calculate the binary value of an integer, there is a function called bin in Python. So bin of n. So this will return like 0, b, and the value, and the binary value of like. So I don't need the first 2 integers. I just need the value. 0b, I don't need it. I just need these things. So I'm just slicing the particular thing. So I'm just eliminating this 0b. So for that I'm just converting this into list so that I can manipulate it much easier, and I'm slicing it. From the second index I'm just considering. I don't need the first 2 ones. And then I'm having a variable called count is equal to 0, which will store the count. And now I'm gonna do the code logic for I in range of len of bin of n. So till the length of the string, it will just, it's a list, right? So till the end of the list it will go. So that's, now I'm gonna declare a variable called decimal des, and we have x. So I'll just say the reason why I need x. So I've just set both the values to 0, and now I'm gonna have a inner for loop called j. So let us now take this one. Consider this scenario. So to calculate the decimal value of this, what you will do is you have to calculate from the end. That is 1 into 2 power 0, 0 into 2 power 1. You will be calculating like it, right? So you will be calculating from the end to the first. And you will be multiplying the values into 2 power thing, right? So that what I'm gonna do. X will store the power value of 2, and since I have to go from the end, I'm giving I minus 1 minus 1. So from I position to the first position, and since it is from the reverse direction, I'm giving minus 1. To calculate the decimal value, I'm giving des plus equal to 1. Sorry, des plus equal to. So int of bin of n of j into 2 power, since the power operation is double star in Python, into x, and then I'm incrementing the value of x. Okay, so outside this for loop, I'm checking if this is divides b. If s means increment by 1, as it will do nothing, and finally I'm printing the count value. Yeah, we are pretty much done. Now let us just check it out. So the first test case is 52.2, right? 52.2. Yeah, we are getting some errors. So bin of b. Okay. Oh, I have to give this. Sorry. From the second index to the last, right? I did a mistake over here. 52. Yeah, it's perfect with the first test case. And for 147.3, it gives 4, and 98.6, it gives 6, 3. Yeah, you can give whatever the random values you want, it works perfect. The simple logic is it will just convert the value into binary value, and it will just split up, and it will calculate the decimal value of each split up, and it will check with the given value b whether it is divisible or not, and it will just print the count at the end. So the logic is same. Now we'll just solve this using C. So I'm just changing the compiler, and changing the comment. Yeah, I'm just taking out this code, and now we'll start coding in C. So the header files, that is to get the input svio.h, and to calculate the power, and including mat.h. So then I'm including the main function. So then I'm declaring two variables n and d. I'm getting that from the user. So ampersand n and d, and then I have to calculate the binary value of n, right? So while n is greater than 0, it will be like I need a array to store the binary values, like ba, and a index value called k is equal 0 to store the the calculations one by one, to iterate to the array as per the index. And how to calculate the binary value of the element n is, we'll be doing mathematical functions, right? We'll be converting the decimal value into binary value by dividing it by 2, and we'll be concatenating all the reminders, right? So that's what we are gonna do. So I'm dividing the n value by 2 and storing the remainder in a of k, and then I'm decreasing the n value by dividing by 2 and incrementing the k value to go to the next index value. So this part, and we have to note that for example, if if 10 value can be represented 1010, the array will be in the array, the values will be stored in the reverse order, like 0101. We should know that. Noting on this, we have to make the manipulations. So now I'm gonna give a for loop, like for int I is equal to k minus 1, since the length of array will be k and k is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus, and then for int I is j is equal to I and j is lesser than k, j plus plus. Okay, so that it will be splitting up such that, and then I need two variables called decimal and position. So the decimal value will be 0 and the position value will be 0 initially, and the decimal value will be adding all the things like how will be converting from binary to decimal, like the same logic as we did in Python. So a of j into power of 2 comma position, and position value incremented by 1, and we are checking whether the decimal value is divisible by b. If yes, I'm incrementing the count value. I didn't declare the count value, so we'll be declaring count is equal to 0 initially, so that will be incremented. And finally, out of all the loops, we are printing the print value. I guess we are pretty much done. Yeah, let's check. The first test case is 52 space. The first test case is 52 space 2. Yeah, it's pretty good. And the second test case is 147 space 3. Very good. And the third test case is 98,6. Yeah, all test cases are running fine. You can give any random values as per your interest. It will run so perfect. I guess I've completed the two coding questions of this week. So if you have any doubts regarding this, you can reach us out in our discussion forum. Thank you.